Hi everybody, it's April 6, 2026. A lot of the times I try to determine what to feed my spirit. Sometimes I wonder if watching certain television shows can be detrimental to my spiritual health. Sometimes I wonder if my diet is supporting my spiritual health. Sometimes I wonder if certain conversations that I partake in are going to be retardant to my fire, my spiritual fire. And what I found is that usually prevention of spiritual illnesses isn't rooted in fear. It's not rooted in caution. Prevention of spiritual illnesses is the best way is to have confidence in your spirit, in your connection to the Father, God. Because the way that we are in this life, in this society, no matter if there are certain conspiracies that are true or not, what we ingest is not necessarily going to poison us, in so many words, if your spirit is attuned to searching out truth. So, for instance, if you watch a television show that is supposedly supposed to be making your life more negative, if your spirit is attuned and connected to God in a certain way, it's almost going to be like metabolized and very innocuous in the end. So there's no need to fear about being corrupted unless you allow yourself to be corrupted by the lies of this society or this world. And so this gets me to thinking about the fizzle. A lot of times when we are afraid of what's going to happen to us in life, we think that a calamity in our endeavors is going to undo us. But a lot of times the fizzle out of life leaves you more bare. And an example of this is that if you have been waiting to be accepted in a group or at a job or whatever, and so you've been searching for a job for months, you get a job and you want to make friends with the people at work, but every time you try to connect and build relationships with people at work, they kind of avoid you or they disregard you for whatever reason. And so this big build up to having a life, having a good job, having a work life, having friends in your life, it just kind of fizzles out. And so you were expecting a dramatic slamming door effect, but in actuality, what happened was your hopes seemed to mean nothing. Your aspirations just meant nothing to nobody else but yourself, and you were left with the diffusion. You are left with the void. So what do you do in that situation? My strategy has been very simple, and I don't know if it's for everybody, but like whenever a situation fizzles out that I had so much hope for joy in, and it just dissipates into nothing, my strategy is simple. It's just, I just accept whatever happens, and I move on. It's not like I don't feel miffed or I don't feel crestfallen at any times, but I just accept it. And I notice that as the more and more stuff that I accept, the more fluidly I can advance in life. It doesn't mean that I'm not lonely. It doesn't mean that I'm not that I don't have ambition anymore. It's just that if I keep it moving and accept things, what is meant for me is easier to find because it's more apparent. It's more obvious. The second thing I could say about the fizzle is that I've learned that feeling strong and feeling confident is highly temporary or highly effervescent. Like you can feel impenetrable at sometimes, but when you are put to the test and you fizzle out, your manhood is called to question. Your backbone is called to question. Your integrity is called into question. So when you fizzle out in the face of adversity, I've learned to eat it up. I learned to feel all that shame, to feel that shame of my humanity, to feel that shame of my lack of faith, and to feel that shame where I let my courage down. And so eating all that shame, all the times I fizzled out, it kind of makes me understand myself more. And the more I understand myself, the more concrete courage I have, the more ironclad agreement I have with myself to protect my loved ones and to protect myself and to protect my life and my mission. So just because you fizzle out in the face of adversity doesn't mean you're a coward. That just means you have to learn how to avoid that next time, to avoid losing the faith. And so the path to extreme courage is a path of extreme shame, and there's no other way around it. You have to go through that shame of being of giving up on yourself and giving up on your life in order to stop it from happening in the future. And the last thing I could say about the fizzle is God never fizzles. You may ask God for something for years and years and years. I asked my father to save people countless times, and sometimes they went away. Sometimes the people went away no matter how many times I asked my father to save them. And I thought that God fizzled out on me, but God never fizzles out on you. If you persist, if you keep on following, if you keep on hoping, and you keep on believing, God replaces the pieces on the chessboard that he took away. And he replaces your tenacity. He replaces your audacity if they fizzle away, if they are taken away, if they are smashed to bits. God never fizzles out because he can't. That's just not a possibility. So if you believe that, whatever dissipates that was yours is going to rematerialize, guaranteed. So I hope this helps. Thanks.